In a relationship, we don't seek what's healthy, we seek what's familiar. Hola, Kinalita, aka Mahadi, not Mahali. I'm the girl that calls 4 countries home. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. Thank you so much if you're my subscriber. Even more thank you if you're a member. You can join membership, guys, on the link below. If you are new here, welcome, and I do hope you join us. So I was just listening to this couple talking about challenges just after marriage. They love each other and they don't have a problem with these challenges. It just came to my mind how I've been telling you guys that I've been learning more about myself, trying to know the inner child and trying to understand myself a bit more. The guy mentions how he is an introvert, and now suddenly he has this person that's with him all the time. Now he's having to adjust to always having the person in their space, because even when he was single, he didn't even see people. He enjoyed his space, being home alone. And it was more a case of, I'll come see you, don't come see me. He didn't even like people in his space, literally. So when he had the girlfriend, she would come sometimes, but he enjoyed having the time alone to just recuperate, recharge. And I was thinking, sometimes we don't necessarily even realize that we need that time to be alone, to recharge, It becomes such a huge thing when you are married and suddenly this person is in your space and you can't get rid of them, quote unquote. You even think you're a bad person, you're a bad spouse for even wanting your own space. Sometimes you don't think so, but your spouse thinks so when you do communicate needing space. They feel rejected, they take it personally, it becomes a huge thing. You find there's no healthy communication. Depending on the type of attachment style that you have, you will either be free to communicate your needs or you'll be afraid. You'll be afraid you'll lose the person, you'll be afraid of rejection, you'll be afraid because of your attachment style. Now, what is the attachment style? I promised you guys I'll do this video, but the girl is not organized, so I don't have the organized video. But what I've decided to do is actually share with you my sermon on attachment styles, because within the sermon there is a description, definition as defined by a lady I watch. I will add her link. She talks about so many things, and there's another term I can't quite remember that I'm looking forward to going into and do a video on. Like, there's just so many topics that I've been having whoa light bulb moments, fireworks, just discovering myself, relearning myself. I'm so thankful about learning about attachment styles, because I have found that I get offended a lot less. I am okay with being alone. I am okay with rejection, because the reason I do the quote unquote is because sometimes we interpret something as rejection when it's not. When people are just being themselves, their honest, genuine, authentic selves, we make it about us. I have been okay with people being themselves, and I'm starting to be okay with me being myself and not worrying that I'm offensive. Let's just go straight to the point where I described attachment styles. Okay, what is attachment style? What is that? Attachment style vaguely refers to how we relate to people in intimate relationships. So that mostly means romantic relationships, but it can also mean friendships, parent-child relationships, siblings, and so on. It can also refer to any authority figure relationship that you have, any relationship that can trigger your attachment wounds. Ooh, what is attachment wounds, you ask? Ooh, we will not deal with that in this video. Attachment theory was introduced in the 50s, 60s when it became popular to blame everything on the parents. Tests were done where a baby would be put in a room with a parent versus with a stranger. The study would, I hope this is not too noisy, there's a bus just here. Tests were done where a baby would be put in a room with a parent versus a stranger. The study would be, of how the baby interacted with the parent, both when the parent left the room and both when the parent came back into the room. They categorize the responses of the child into four patterns. Those four response patterns usually correlate to your adult attachment styles. If you haven't formed a secure attachment style, by the age of 2, usually you have problems in adulthood. So this is a quote from this video. I'm gonna link that video. Insecure refers to attachment which is not healthy or adaptive. Okay, so my sermon was about how our relationship with God, how that is affected by our attachment styles. So there's secure attachment, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, and fearful avoidant attachment, also known as anxious avoidant attachment. Okay, so good to know attachment styles. You're not stuck with it. As I'm saying that, I am learning and healing the inner child. You're not stuck with it for life, but if you don't do the work, you are. So let's go. So we're not gonna talk about secure, because secure is where we all wanna be, and there's nothing to discuss. Right? Anxious attachment. So the anxiously attached person, they've learned from a young age that they have to overexert their needs to have them met. This can happen for a number of reasons. A caregiver could be unresponsive because they are ill, or because they are mentally ill, physically ill or mentally ill. Maybe they are single parent that is overtaxed, they have to pay bills, they have to work, they don't have time to be dealing with children and their needs and their emotional needs. The baby learns that I have to try a whole range of strategies to get the attention of the adult. So they have a huge buffet of strategies of what they need to do in order to get some attention. They learn very quickly that I need to make noise to get anybody to attend to me, before I can be seen and heard, therefore for my needs to be met. They see the world as I am not okay, you are okay, as they grow up, because they've always felt that their needs are not met, so they're not okay. They need help. Everybody's okay, they're not okay. So they use other people's strategies to regulate their emotions. They don't know how to regulate their emotions. So regulating your emotions means, like, if you're dealing with disappointment, anxiety, hurt, pain, being able to get yourself to be okay again. Ne? So the anxiously attached people, they use other people's strategies to regulate themselves. If you're anxiously attached, you're going through something, you have got to talk to someone to feel okay. You don't have the ability to get yourself feeling okay. You don't know what to do. You don't have the tools to get yourself okay without getting help to be okay. So as a result, the anxiously attached people are attracted to the securely attached people, because securely attached people love themselves. They know who they are. They're happy with who they are. They're basically the opposite of them. They walk confidently. They know their world. They have their things together. They're not lost. And the anxiously attached people want that. So they want that person because A, they are attracted to that because they wish they were like that, but B, because that person will know what to do. That person will help them regulate themselves. Yeah? So avoidant attachment can tend to think that they are secure because they are not emotional. They don't catastrophize. They just walk away. They won't even deal. They won't deal with it. They are, as it says, avoidant. So they think they're secure because nothing is a big deal. But they don't actually deal with things they need to be dealing with because they avoid to deal with those things. The avoidant, the parenthood is similar, except they dealt with it differently. Because the parent was not there, because the adult was not there to look after them, take care of them, they learned to take care of themselves. They move very slowly into relationships. They're afraid that someone might expect too much from them because the world is taking. They see the world as, I'm okay, you're not okay. So everybody's needy, because they would have had parents who, maybe someone is a drug dealer, alcoholic, they had to parent their parent, so they had to become the adult in a relationship. So things were skewed for them in that sense. Whereas with the anxiously attached person, they were very much the child who was trying to get attention. Whereas this one just stood up and said, okay, it is what it is. Let's go. Let's keep going. So co-regulating for an avoidant person might look like binge eating, video games, anything that they can do that does not need people, because they're okay. You're the one that's not okay. They are independent and they don't need anybody, so they're not healthy. It's not a healthy attitude, but they're very much independent. The fearful avoidant, which is also anxiously avoidant, which is like a bit of a mix of the two. They're on again, off again type of people. So when we talk about in a relationship, they would pursue you like the anxious person. Like the anxious person is like can't live without you type of person. They're holding on to you. They can't let go. You have to be spending time with them all the time. You have to be on the phone with them all the time. They're pursuing you, The anxiously avoidant has a bit of that. Pursue. They want you, this, that. Oh my goodness. When are you calling? But once you actually reciprocate, once you want them back, they hold back. It's scary. That's the anxiously avoidant person. This YouTuber says, in a relationship, we don't seek what's healthy. We seek what's familiar. So depending on what kind of childhood you had, that's the kind of thing you're going to be ending up with, unless, of course, you work on yourself. So basically, that is what the attachment styles are. And it's so good to be aware of who you are, what you are, and what other people are, so that you don't end up concluding people are rude because they tell you, can I have a break? Can we not talk for the next 2 days? I just need to be alone. This person needs that. It's very important, boys and girls. Very important. From Auntie V. Very, very important as you're getting married, to value your individuality, your what's the word? Not atonement, Uncle Sam. I'm going to remember it once I'm done. It's similar. It's very, very important to value your own individuality and to value your partner's individuality, and to know that they're going to look different. It's very important to teach yourself about these personality types, your 5 love languages. Know how your partner wants to be loved. Know how they're receiving the way you're loving them. Communicate how you want to be loved. Communicate how you feel present and fully yourself in the relationship. It's very important for you to be fully yourself and to not worry that you are offending someone because you have grown up in families where you could not be yourself. Sometimes you were shamed for being you, for wanting something different from what other family members wanted, for speaking out your mind because you were with someone, you had a parent or adult role model who was so ultra sensitive that you could not be yourself and fully express your dreams, your aspirations, how you see the world, your views. Your views are very, very valid. So it is extremely important to never put people down because they see things differently from you. Respect. I hope you enjoyed that and I hope it made sense. I'm not quite sure that it did, but I hope it made sense. Thank you for watching. I love you. But remember that God loves you even more. And that is true. Ciao, ciao. Hella, you pushed everything. Thank you so much for watching everything. Now don't forget to subscribe and go back to my other videos and scroll and scroll and scroll and watch everything. There's very good things in here, very good interesting things. You are number one. Now thank you and take care of yourself.